welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland. Dad, have a good weekend?
Had a pretty good weekend. Had a better Monday.
Yeah, me too. We'll get into that a little bit. I want to say off the top, we're joined by one of our returning champions, Coach Mike Justice, recently elected to the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Mike.
Thank you very much.
We were discussing it a little off air, sitting at about 297 career wins.
Yeah,
Is that
I think
right?
so. I think that's right.
Well deserving of the honor to go into the Hall of Fame. I know Rick had been supporting you,
no doubt
in
about
your
that.
bid, and I was happy to do the same this last round. So well deserved, and just the perfect guest to have because we have got a lot of football talk today on the show. Just right off the top. Ole Miss's 28-10 win over Georgia, obviously the big news in Mississippi this week. It started ominously with the interception and a quick Georgia touchdown. I thought, oh, well, here we go. That's the We Are Ole Miss narrative coming back to haunt them. But, boy, after that, it was pretty much a browbeating.
Well, it wasn't just that they were down 7-0, and Dart
Limped off
the sideline, went to the locker room.
Went in. I thought it was through.
Well, this guy texted me. We weren't watching the game in the same place. Tyler texted me and said,
Ole Miss
"We're
is
cooked."
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
and I texted him back about 10 minutes later after the freshman came on and took them down the field. I said, "No, they're cooking."
Yeah. Well, I sent a message back and said, never mind, as soon as he hit that touchdown pass. They are, I'll say this, man, Ole Miss has been good on offense before. They've been explosive like this under Kiffin, and we've said it in this space before. It's that defensive front. It's those linebackers, especially Paul and Suntarian Perkins. They're good at DB. They're just – I think the big difference Saturday was that defense and just how suffocating they were. Also, Carson Beck is struggling. And I think they were the quarterback from Georgia. I think he's thrown like 12 interceptions in SEC games this year.
I told people for years and years about that, the greatness a quarterback can have or some coach winning. There's an element of things happen that gives those kind of guys an edge. Georgia last year had the best tight end in the country for sure. Had two good wideouts, had a running back. They had all the tools that went with Carson Beck. He's not a different player. He didn't just all of a sudden not know how to play, but it makes a difference. Coaches, I walked that sideline for 35 years, and if you think you're going to win without players, you're sadly mistaken. You're going to get beat.
Yeah, and Archie Manning's always told me that he said the quarterback always gets way too much credit and way too much blame. He said those other 10 guys are...
Well, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as they think you are. Yeah. Just how it works.
Well, I read a piece Bruce Feldman wrote in The Athletic about Beck in particular. Said if he had come out last year, he probably would have been a late first, early second rounder because I got 6 quarterbacks gone in the first 12 picks last year.
Yeah.
But he would have been solidly in that late first, early second round, and now the teams are looking at him like a third or fourth rounder. And I think you're right, Coach. I think that obviously the weapons around him have been the big difference this year. But, whatever. I don't care what it is, how they struggled. I'm just glad to see Ole Miss in the playoff picture now. That we're recording this on Tuesday morning, so we haven't seen the latest playoff rankings. They're up to, I think, 10 in the AP poll and 11 in the coaches poll. I think they're squarely in that 12-team playoff right now.
I'm guessing 10 or 11.
Yeah, me too.
When it comes out tonight, and tomorrow when people hear this, they'll say, well, that idiot Cleveland, he didn't know. But I think 10 or 11. What do you think?
I do too. Going back to the ball game itself, my astute judgment, which ends up wrong a lot, I told some people, I said, Coach Kiffin, the last thing he wants is a knockdown, drag out. Just a physical, hard-nosed boy. He don't like that kind of stuff. Well, they come out, throw an interception, the quarterback limps off, and Georgia scored. It's raining. Yeah. I thought, boy, this is what Ole Miss just did not want. And then they line up on defense and just kill Georgia. That front four just murdered them.
Yeah, number 2.
Ooh.
Nolan.
Yeah.
I mean,
it came from A&M.
Yeah, he's not going to be real high on the tackle charts.
No.
But you watch how many people it takes.
Well, you double him every time and chip a back off on him most of the time. I mean, it's just tough.
He's a hell of a player. And Centurion Perkins is turning into just what we thought he was going to be.
I mean,
where did he play? I forgot.
Raleigh.
That's right. I knew that.
And I don't have my notes in front of me, but all I know is that state championship game at Raleigh down in Hattiesburg his senior year, he ran for like 200 yards and had like 12 tackles and a forced fumble and interception return. And I called a buddy of mine who's a huge Ole Miss fan, and I was like, buddy, get ready. You're about to really like this guy.
He was so clearly the best player on the field in any of those 6 games that year.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me.
That was at the Rock in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
And, man, I mean, and, you know, we always walk the sidelines at the championship games, Tyler and I, and, boy, you walk past him and it just stops you.
Yeah. I've seen over the years of a long time, going back to playing in the 60s to coaching up to not long ago, I saw a handful of guys that just stopped you dead in your tracks.
Yeah.
You know, of course, Marcus Dupree. Starkville had a guy named David Fair. Got a knee tore up and didn't ever get to really make it. But, man, he was a specimen now.
Yeah. There was one down at West Ducksworth.
Ducksworth at West Jones. Good Lord.
But Centurion he's so long. I mean, he's like really long. And then he's got muscles all the places you're supposed to have them. And I mean, he's special.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about him is he tackles. I mean, and you know, he can rush the passer, you know, from the outside position as well as anybody, but when he gets his paws on you, and he's always there to clean it up, you know, and if they put him on the other side from I can't pronounce his name, Princely. Princely. And when they put him on the other side from that guy, boy, it gives them a pincer, and it's pretty fun to watch. I had as much fun Saturday watching them on defense as I did on offense. And that's
I did too.
Yeah, I mean,
I did too.
Yeah, they're terrific. I wrote, you know, they're going to have to pay Georgia $250,000 because of the celebration after the game.
Should have $350,000.
Is it $350,000?
$350,000.
Good Lord.
Well, as I wrote, maybe Georgia can find them a left offensive tackle.
They need to get one.
Who can, but
not for $350,000.
No, he won't be that good, will he?
That's what I said on second thought.
That's not enough.
Probably not enough.
That's not enough.
No, they, you know, and I somebody asked me about that the other day. I said, man, I'd rather be the school. I mean, we're talking about monopoly money anyway at this point in college football. I would much rather be the school writing the checks for storming the field than I would be the team receiving said check for getting
Rick,
beat like
I was
that.
looking, just talking about the rankings, and I was looking at that the other day, and I'm going to tell you something now. With the way it's going, and this is an observation, it could be wrong, but the Big 12 and the ACC are going to get some out of top 4, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. The next 5 are going to be better as a group than the top 4. With the Big 12 champion and ACC champion. And I'm going to tell you, I've watched the Big 12 keep up with them because of the West Virginia thing, and those teams are not that good. I mean, BYU's the odds-on favorite to get out, and they don't want none of that Ole Miss front now. That's the last thing in the world BYU wants to see.
Or any of those.
Any of them. Name one.
Let me tell you, Kentucky's defensive front.
Oh,
I mean, they're unbelievable.
they're good.
Well, let's talk about what's ahead of Ole Miss. Obviously, they got the bye this week, which Dad, you think is really going to help them.
What a great time to have them.
Get the quarterback 100% is what it'll do.
And it may get that wide receiver back.
Well, that'll help. Good Lord.
Let's talk about that for a second. They beat Georgia by 3 touchdowns without maybe the best wide receiver in the country, except for the freak at Alabama.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. As a
there's
caveat,
no doubt.
it's a caveat you got to throw into any conversation about wide receivers is a freak at Alabama. But yeah, no, they did it without him, and I thought that, you know, they had some other guys step up, but I think the dirty secret is that Ole Miss is a run-first team. I mean, they throw it when they need to, but they need that the running game to set it up. And if you look at the games they've lost, that's where they've really struggled to run the football.
Or wouldn't.
Yeah, or wouldn't. You're right.
That's
or
right.
Wouldn't.
That's right.
Or wouldn't. But man, they did both pretty efficiently the other day. Just really impressed with that team.
Was it not impressive when that quarterback went down? I mean, he went to the tent. He went to the dressing room. And this other guy comes in, and listen, I'm a little ashamed to admit this. I didn't know who he was. Didn't even know he was left-handed. Mm-hmm. The quarterback came in for Ole Miss. They just went right on. He arced, he threw it. I mean, they said, okay, we're not going to change a thing. Nothing's changed in our offense.
Big-time recruit out of Miami.
Well, see, I lost him in the shuffle. He hadn't played much, and I just didn't know who he was.
Well, and you saw, I think Dart was ready to come back in.
Probably so.
Right there at the end of that drive, it looked like he was itching to come back in. And I was kind of glad after the couple of plays before that, I was glad they stuck with Simmons. I think could be a great player.
It looks like it.
So the Rebels have Florida next week.
Dangerous now. If Lagway, is that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If Lagway's back on the field, Florida is dangerous. Especially
down there.
Down there.
Well, I don't care who Ole Miss is playing, where they are in the rankings right now and what's going on. Like, any game would terrify me if I was an Ole Miss fan.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on the past history. But they've got, winning at Gainesville is, it's winning at Gainesville. And then they've got Mississippi State, who I have thought all year had gotten better and better. But, at this point, I don't know. I think Ole Miss would easily be a, 2-touchdown favorite or more.
More than that.
20 points.
Yeah, 20 points. 3 points.
At home, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with that said, they will be favored in both of these games. And I don't know how it shakes out with the rest of these teams. We may end up with like 6, 10-2 SEC teams before it's over. See what happens with Tennessee and Georgia and those kind of games. But I think that if they take care of business, they're going to get in.
Yeah, unless that scenario happens where it could be 6, right?
Right.
6, 10-2.
As many as 6.
Yeah, it could be.
If that happens, I think they'll get in.
Well, look, if it comes down to whether they're going to put in Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia or Ole Miss, I know how that's going to go. I don't care who they've beat and what this, I get a feeling which way the committee will go.
I think Tennessee's the weakest one of those guys on a daily basis. I don't know that, but you look at Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss is better than Tennessee. I think Alabama's better than Tennessee.
I think Alabama may be the best one.
They very well could. If they turn that big hoss loose over there now, I'm telling you now, is that not something? Yeah, Good Lord.
He's really, really – talking about the quarterback?
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the best running back if he played running back.
I know it.
But he's really good. But the thing is you look at them. Well, their front seven, to be honest with you, doesn't look that much better than Ole Miss now.
No, they don't.
No, that's the big difference. That's how Ole Miss has closed the gap.
Next 4, when you do the top 4, then you got that next 5, let's say, you could very well be looking at Alabama, Ohio State, or Oregon, whichever one don't get in the top 4, and Penn State, and then a Georgia or whatever. You're looking at a better 4 than the top 4 as a group. Yeah. And that's going to be interesting how that works out.
Well, what's really important for Ole Miss, if it's possible, and I don't know that it is at this point because they lost twice, and one of those teams, or maybe both now, with LSU's got 3.
Yeah.
We know they're not going to be in the top 4.
No.
They need to get in that second 4 where they host a game. You don't want to, I don't think you want to be going on the road to Penn State.
You don't want to go to Happy Valley.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go to Oregon. So where do you want to go?
Yeah. So you want to host.
That's right.
It would be ideal because if it was anything like Oxford was on Saturday, even through that rain, it was a crazy atmosphere. How about the fans storming the field with 16 seconds left? What do you think about that?
Well, I don't like that, but I totally understand it. And
I do too.
I thought it was interesting. They didn't even make an effort
No.
to stop it.
You know, I hear people say, "Oh man, you got to have better control than that." You know,
What are you gonna
Let me
do?
tell you something. When things go that direction, you don't have any control. I mean, I don't care where it is or who it is.
Yeah. I also enjoyed your bit about the squirrel in your column, Dad. That was good stuff, man. It's like they started penalizing. They were going to start penalizing Ole Miss for faking injuries, and they just said, "All right, release the squirrel."
Yeah, turn the squirrel loose.
Well, how about? I mean, when the squirrel made a beeline to the Georgia bench, and 3 or 4 players scattered like they were frightened. One of them was Beck.
Yeah.
I think he was gun shy by that time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw him trying to step on him, and I was like, surely they're not going to stomp this Grove squirrel out on national TV.
Beck didn't try to stomp him. He just ran away. He got the hell out of there.
Well, you know, I would have too. I don't do rodents very well. Guys, the other big football news of the weekend was the Saints getting off the snide under their interim coach, Rizzi, who is an internet phenomenon now for his facial expressions during the game. I don't know what to make of the Saints team other than to say what I've said all along is when they're healthy, they're not terrible.
When they're healthy, they're as good as anybody in their division.
No doubt about that.
Even like reasonably healthy, like with normal injuries, which they still have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
They're still missing their center, the best wide receiver they have, a corner. I mean, they're missing a lot.
Yeah, and now they've traded a corner. You know, we haven't spoken since the Marshawn Lattimore trade, which I thought kind of signaled a rebuild. But I saw the story in the Times-Picayune Saturday where they say the GM Mickey Loomis is not on the hot seat and they're not in a rebuild.
Well, the thing that signals to me that it's not a rebuild is they've signed Camaro to a extended contract.
Yeah.
If you were in a rebuild, he's the one piece of the puzzle that could get you something right now. I mean, he's
viable. He's a player.
Boy, he's good.
He's great. He's great, but the market value for a 30-year-old running back in the NFL is garbage.
Yeah, but if there's a playoff team, if there's a really good team that's just missing,
well, they could use that.
They could use him.
Yeah,
he can win games for you.
NFL's right now.
He won a game Sunday.
Yeah. No, he was great. He was fantastic.
But I think the NFL's just right now. Let's do it today. You know, what do we got to do today? When we play Sunday, let's try to be ready. Yeah. I talked to some guys. I had guys in that league. I remember talking to Chris Spencer when he was up at Chicago, talking about the injuries in the NFL. Once you've been in that league a while and 5 or 6 drafts have come and gone with brand new guys coming in, younger than you get hurt, you play. Because you don't play, you could be gone.
Right.
Because they don't care that this old, we got to give the guy that got hurt a chance. Oh, that's a high school and college thing about, we give him a chance to get back in the lineup. They don't. If the guy they put in cuts it, that's the other guy's gone. He can kiss it goodbye.
Especially if he makes more money.
That's exactly right.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to take anybody's job while they're injured in New Orleans. They miss those guys too much. But I will say this: here's the concern for me, because after 7 losses in a row, I'm all in on playing the guys that are maybe project guys or trying to, I'm not saying tank for the number 1 pick, but the Saints have this tendency to fall out of the race and then win 5 or 6 games in the last 8 weeks and get into those the mid round
instead of having a top 5 draft choice.
Instead of having a choice to go after like a franchise quarterback or some kind of something that could really change the dynamic. I will say they do have more ammunition now after the Lattimore trade. They could trade up if they wanted to. But imagine a scenario in which they didn't have to trade up. And then they have all these draft picks. Because they got, I think, 3 extra picks out of that. So, I want to see them competitive again, and I just don't know how long that's going to take.
What I was going to say, and we watched the game together Sunday, and we've watched them. I've watched
the only
every game they've ever played.
It's the only NFL team I watch.
Yeah, so I covered them for a whole lot of years. When I tried not to let my feelings for them affect what I wrote.
Right.
You know, I mean, if they sucked, I said they sucked, and they most often did. But watching the game Sunday, I actually had conflicting feelings because just what you're talking about. They need a marquee. I mean, they
need something.
They need a guy.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed the hell out of watching Rizzy on the sidelines. That dude is animated, and obviously they were fired up to play for him. But I don't, somebody's like, oh man, they seemed like they were, it was different on the sidelines, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they're just healthy. They were in the game against Carolina the week before. They should have won. They won. They dominated almost time of possession. They were plus on turnovers. They had more rushing yards, like all the hallmarks that you look for a winning team, and they lost.
It looks like the best 5 teams in the NFL, and I try to watch a lot of that football. They've all got a franchise quarterback, and a lot of them that can run. They can run. They can hurt you running. And then they got defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Harbaugh's out at L.A. now, and they're a pretty good football team. They're not bad at all. They got the quarterback, then they got a good defense, and Pittsburgh's playing good football again, real good. Quarterback, they put old Russell Wilson in there and turned him into a better team. But I think the Saints are like y'all are talking about. They're certain key elements away from being, okay.
If they had their center, I mean, at the beginning of the year, they were knocking everybody off the ball. They were controlling the line of scrimmage. They were doing everything you want them to do. They were actually blocking for the first time in a while. But no, I mean, the injuries pile up, and the offensive line Coach, I'm sure you can. The one place I would not want outside a quarterback, the one place I don't want injuries is up front on offense.
Well, what about this? I said the center goes down in the second game of the season. They're comfortably leading. They've been a different team ever since. It seemed like the center was the key to everything that happened up front.
And football, really from high school through professional, the center's not just a center. I mean, he's not just an offensive lineman. He sets up the call on a lot of the blocking, most of the blocking. I mean, you'll watch him on, especially in the NFL, he starts pointing and looking and showing. And I mean, he's the center of the whole thing. I mean, he's got to snap it. So you get your center hurt, you got problems.
Well, on one of your best Madison Central teams, I remember your son was the center, right?
He is a football guy. Started for us for 3 years and knew what to do, knew how to play, knew the schemes, and knew what was going on, and it matters.
It clearly mattered a lot to the Saints.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little high school football since we brought it up. Coach, I know you watch a lot of Madison Central games, so it means you've seen some of the best teams in the state over the course of the year. I was going to start with who's the best team you've seen in person, and then I'll tell you.
I didn't see Tupelo, but from what I have seen, they're the best team in the state.
You would really like them. They're big, physical.
Yeah,
and they
they're
run
physical,
the ball.
got the big back. But Brandon, I think the winner this year will come out of the North. I think Brandon's the only team in the South. I don't think Oak Grove can win the state championship.
From what I've seen, they're a good football team, but they're not. I mean, I think Hattiesburg's better than they are.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, Hattiesburg certainly thinks so and beat them. I think Hattiesburg is right up there. I don't know how they would fare against Tupelo. I think
they do fine.
I do think Tupelo and Brandon are the two best teams right now.
I do too.
Brandon has more talent. It's just young. It's young players.
Yeah.
2 sophomores leading the way on offense, and a couple of really good receivers. Just athletes all over the place. And Tupelo has the big back, like we mentioned, J.J. Hill, who congrats to him for winning Mr. Football for 7A last week.
Yeah.
They've put together a great. Ty Harden's got a good group up there, and they don't make any bones about it. They're going to try to run the football. and make you stop them. Which I know, Coach,
I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
I think you won the state championship at Madison Central without throwing it. So, it's I think if that was the final, it would be a hot ticket because I would love to watch those two teams, Sam Williams and that kind of high-flying Brandon offense against that.
Well, somebody's got to upset Brandon coming out of the South. I mean, I don't know if anybody can. I mean, I know they can, but it'd be very difficult for Brandon not to come out of the South.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Clinton Arrows are in the. I mean, they're in the. The only team that's had that's got their GOAT so far, and I think that was one of those early season flukes.
And Clinton's gone home.
Yeah. Well, they weren't. They had no. I think John Carr ought to be Coach of the Year. I mean, I watched them last year. I mean, I just. God bless them, they just weren't very good, and he's done a really good job with them so far. But I look back at that's the one game this season that I look at and just really have to scratch my head. I don't know how the hell they beat Brandon.
I know it.
But anyway, I'm interested to see how that shakes out in the end in 7A, and I think those are the two best teams, and I really would love to see that game down in Hattiesburg. I'll say this: Tupelo, if they come out and turn the ball over, they can be beat. I mean, same with Brandon, but I think Madison Central, as you were saying, that Brandon should probably come out of the South. I think Madison Central provides is going to that second game with Tupelo, if that's what it ends up being, will be a knockdown drag out because Madison Central is very good on defense. They
got
also
a good defense,
run the football well, and
had Tupelo 20-0 at halftime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Toby, he's you appreciate that about him too.
Good coach.
If he finds a weakness,
he'll exploit it.
Yeah, and he won't stop.
All this scoring right now, I took time, and it didn't take long, and I just wanted to look. I went back and looked, which you can look it up on the website, MHSAA, my coaching career. It's got every year, every game. Can't lie about it. It's all there. 45 points. If I'd have scored 45 points in every ball game I played, fellas, I'd be 394-1. Clarksdale put 49 on me in 1994, and that's it.
God damn, who was playing for
Clarksdale? They had the quarterback and the wideout. One went to LSU, one went to Mississippi State. Quarterback went to LSU. I don't think either one of them. The wideout played a lot of state. I forgot his name.
Yeah,
but they were real good.
Yeah,
but that's just the way. And I ain't the only one. Willis Wright. Well, if you took Willis Wright's career and give him 45 points, he wouldn't have lost a game ever. But now you get beat quick.
Oh, you see every week.
Every week.
55 to 49 game.
What didn't Clinton beat Brandon, 60-something to 50-something?
Yes.
Isn't that because of the rule changes?
Yeah. A lot of it.
Yeah. Legalized holding.
I don't think I don't think I could coach now. I mean, I'm not saying we did it. We didn't do it. We meant no harm. But one of the things we used to say is, wore Riddell helmets. You put that Riddell stamp right in them. Well, you do that now, it's 15-yard penalty you out of the game.
Well,
so you can't do that no more.
And knowing what we know about head injuries.
Right. I'm glad.
That's a good thing.
It should have happened.
But people say, I'll go cover a game like that Brandon Clinton game, and it'll be 62-58 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, man, that must have been a hell of a ball game, And I'm like, no, it was miserable.
I know.
I mean, especially when you're trying to cover the game.
Oh,
yeah, it's back and forth.
It's like watching a tennis match.
I know for you guys trying to get it all down, stand it up.
No, give me a 17-14 slugfest.
Good solid game.
If I could cover a 7-3 game and recount just the game-winning drive, I would do that.
Yeah.
I will say this: it does make the teams that can play defense that much more special. I mean, you look at like Louisville, year in and year out, and at the end of the year, they're 4A. But I have to decide whether they are the best team in the state because they actually play defense.
Yeah,
you know what
do.
I mean? They and I think last year it was now they were undefeated and Oak Grove was number one. And I got to the end of the year and I'm trying to pick a last team to put number one on the final overall rankings for Mississippi. And I call a bunch of coaches, and they all say, I'd rather play Louisville right now because, we got numbers on them. And this is other 7A coaches,
I
right?
understand that.
Right. So it ends up being Oak Grove. But honestly, I don't know how that game would have played out last year. I just feel like Louisville actually,
I won it all at both places.
Yeah.
Madison, the big boy, and
Right.
Louisville and Calhoun City. And the numbers make a difference.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something now. You do not want to play Louisville at Louisville in anything that matters.
Yeah.
You're going to get beat.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get played now. I mean, you're going to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The one thing I think we've said what we need to say about high school, but I want to ask Coach, because I know he went to school there and he watches them a lot. What do you think about Mississippi State right now?
I think the guy who I don't know him, I've never met him.
Lebby. Jeff Lebby.
Yeah. I think he's doing all he can possibly do.
I do too.
I just can't imagine going out there and I'm not running his players down, and I know he would not do that. But they just don't have them. They just don't have SEC quality players. And go out there and hang on and play and actually respectable, and says a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his coaching things that I think he's coaching them as far as they can go right now.
I do too.
If they invest, as Ole Miss has, I think he can be the guy.
I think he can. I think he's that guy can win. I always told people at Mississippi State, you coach there 10 years and you win 75 games, they should have a monument.
Well,
you should have a statue of you.
At some point, they'll have one of Jackie.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. And it's not just Mississippi State. You take the big boys out of the league, and they're always going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they might go through a small period of losing, but the Alabamas and LSUs and Georgias and that bunch, Texas now, and Tennessee, they're going to win. And for State to match up year in and year out over a 10-year period against those guys, not going to happen. But we can win and be comfortable, go to a nice bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I think they say like, well, the rich are getting richer with the NIL. I mean, I think Ole Miss is proof point that the NIL could, if with the right investment, if you still got to pay the right, as Saban said, you still got to pay the right players, but it could help even the playing field. Certainly has for Ole Miss. I mean, this is money well spent.
But the question is, will it in the long run? I mean,
everybody else is going to catch up. They've hit it at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what I told an Ole Miss friend of mine yesterday. They have hit it at the exact right time.
I get aggravated at, I guess you call it the press, whatever you want to call it, TV. These teams aren't competing against their own past. They couldn't keep stuff off the TV the other day about the last time Ole Miss won a game against somebody that was ranked that high.
Yeah.
Well, this Ole Miss team right now, they're not competing against the 69 team.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not who they're playing. So I guess that's just good filler, something to put on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I get kind of aggravated at wanting these teams, it's competing against their past.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just not what it's about.
Yeah.
We're not playing ourselves here, we're playing somebody else.
Yeah. Well, all due respect to Archie Manning, the 69 team wouldn't want anything to do with this.
I guarantee you, Archie, you know him better than I do, but he'd be looking at that front Ole Miss got right now and say, whoa-wee.
But I also tell you this, he's the one guy that could play.
He could play.
Right now.
He could play.
He could still be out
I'd
there
like to
doing
see Archie in RPO right now, wouldn't you?
Oh, my goodness.
You think he wouldn't rip that stuff? Woo.
Oh, he would. It wouldn't be fair.
No.
It's like Reggie Collier would be the same way.
Can you imagine?
That's what Reggie told me. I said, Reggie, how would you like to run in this spread the field offenses like that? He said, Mr. Rick, it wouldn't be fair.
Wouldn't be fair. Would not be fair.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're about out of time. Before we get out of here, I've got to tell the quick story. The reason that Rick and I enjoyed Monday so much is we played in a golf tournament to benefit the UMMC students at Lake Caroline, the residents, to go present their research nationally. That's what the money raised was for. And we played great because of Rick. Rick played fantastic.
I'm gone. I don't want to hear that.
I know you don't. But just coach, he won the long drive.
Okay.
He won the long putt.
Oh yeah.
And he won the closest to the hole by making it on number 4 at Lake Caroline. Made a hole in one. And I mean, it was to the point where, and this is life goals for me. The organizers came to him and asked if it was okay if they gave some of his prizes to some of the other entrants. This is what
That's a great moment. That's a great moment for a man.
That's what I'm saying.
You want it all. You want it all.
Is it okay if we throw some of these peasants a bone?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I heard.
And we did.
And you did. That's right. But it was a fun day and a great cause, and I had to brag on you a little bit, Dad.
Well, okay, and I want to close the show this way because I play against him all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to ask you this. A couple of weeks ago, you get the word you're going in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. You're a lifelong Mississippian.
Yeah.
Grew up Fulton, Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
You've been watching it all for. What does it mean to you to go in to the Hall of Fame?
Rick, it's hard to describe what it means. The first thing I told my wife this, I'm a little bit intimidated I'm in the same Hall of Fame with Archie Manning and Jerry Rice and Walter Payton and Rick Cleveland.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Those first 3 means.
Hey,
those guys are good.
No, those guys are good, but it's a little bit intimidating to be in there with them because I'm not one of them. But in my chosen field, I had a good life, good career. I know that.
One of the best.
Well, it is Mississippi, and I'm proud of that and excited about where I am in there. I mean, I'm really excited about that. That's a great thing for my family. Something they can have, leave a legacy to them.
Well, you earned it.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys helping me because I wouldn't have got in without it.
I don't know about that either. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. That's all the time we got this week. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next week.